Hi, welcome back. Today we will be focusing on the emotional aspect.
We welcome Dr. Amita Thakkar, who is a homeopath, park flower therapist, integrated clinical hypnotherapist, access bar practitioner, and facilitator. Welcome, Dr. Amita.
Thank you, Minaz. Thank you, Sonam, for inviting me. Thank you so much.
डॉक्टर, आपकी प्रैक्टिस में आपका क्या एक्सपीरियंस रहा है सीनियर सिटीजन्स के साथ?
मेरे क्लिनिकल एक्सपीरियंस में मैं एक्चुअली हर एज ग्रुप के साथ इंटरेक्ट करती हूँ, और जब मेरा इंटरेक्शन सीनियर सिटीजन्स के साथ हुआ है तो वो मैंने ज़्यादा मात्रा में देखा है कि उन लोग जब नॉन प्रोडक्टिव फील करते हैं तब मेरे पास या कोई ट्रीटमेंट के लिए आते हैं. But if I generally share my experience, I have come across, broadly speaking, two types. I don't want to label it, but just generally two categories of people in this age group. One, that they are productive, and one who are not feeling that they are productive. It's not that they are non-productive, but they just don't feel good. And hence, they come across symptoms of depression, worthlessness, boredom, or there is some medical ailments. And then that's what I have come across in my practice.
Okay.
And most of the time, when we come across the second category, talking to them, I recognize that, there are three factors which are kind of influencing what people feel when they are approaching in that age group of senior or when they are already in that age group. And the three factors are the attitude as to how they look at themselves or their age, because the moment that age group or the age comes, and then people start thinking about it, now what, right? And then how they feel about everything in their life is almost a culmination of how they have been having an attitude over a period of time. The second is their belief system, what they believe about being in that age group, how they feel about themselves, about their self-worth, about how they feel about how body is going to respond. Because most of the time people come with the belief system that if I'm getting old, something is going to happen to me medically or, financially, or I'm not going to be useless. I'm not going to be useful, or so many such very, very depressing thought patterns. So I came across that more of these beliefs that they carry and the more of demotivating attitude that they carry influences how they are responding in everything in their life, including how their treatment goes. Because most of the time people come to me for therapy. So I'm sharing only my experience from that.
Right.
Interestingly, I must share with you that, I have teachers who are all in the senior age category. And it is extremely inspiring to see them. Because they are someone who, even at the age that they have such a lot of information and experience and knowledge to share. And that comes in the first category. The third point that I realized when I met this senior citizen age group, whether they were as teachers or whether they were as my, patients or they were my relatives or acquaintances or friends, is how they connect, how they connect in with themselves, how they have their relationship with themselves or how they relate with other people and how their interaction is. So I would say that, if I have to understand them or I'm beginning to understand more and more of them, is by knowing their attitude, understanding what belief systems that they have and how are they connecting within and without. When I say without, is people, situations, environment, and everything around them. So this is more or less what is my experience with senior citizen age group.
Okay. Thank you for that elaborate, detailed description of that. So psychology is connected to physiology. क्या आप हमें इसके बारे में explain कर सकते हैं?
Yes. If I quote Erik Erikson, he is a renowned psychotherapist, and he's done a great study on how the psychological development and the physiological development are interconnected right from the time that someone is in the mother's womb, from the birth till the end of our life. Because what you think, what you feel, there are two aspects to it. One, you are naturally having certain traits as you are growing by way of whatever is the nature that has made us as human beings. And there are certain traits that we develop interacting with the environment, which means it is naturally, okay to feel dependent as you are the first year of your life. But by the time you grow as 8 year, 9 year, you become little more independent. And the same way as you go a little towards the age of teenage, you naturally are drawn to living in groups. So he has categorized these different stages, and he refers to the later age, which is around 60, 65 and above. And it speaks about certain natural characteristics that we have in that age group, which is about, learning to be a part of the society and looking not just as simply who you are. Now, the very fact that people come at this age, they start looking at themselves in the society. That is what I started with my introduction about the senior citizens, that they either see as productive or non-productive. And then based on how they have lived their life, they start thinking and feeling and believing about it, which starts influencing their neural networks. So the way you think and feel and how you have been thinking and feeling is influencing also your body, at the same time your behavior, which is actually an outcome of your neural circuitry or a neural network inside. And what happens at the age that we are in the senior citizen age group, for whatever that they have accumulated as experience, if they are feeling good, if they are feeling valuable, if they have felt that they have done good enough, then they are more contributing to the society and they continue being productive. But if they are not done enough, or somewhere there are traumas and disappointment or certain rigid outlook, then they start feeling a little more, withdrawn. And when they feel withdrawn and depressed, they start losing interest, and then that also influences their neural network inside the brain. So as a result, it's like a vicious cycle. The more they get withdrawn and depressed, the more the neural networking system inside the brain doesn't really grow or develop, and then there is a deceleration, and then they start feeling, oh, we are not productive, or I'm not good enough, or nobody is taking care of me. So I would say, Minaz, it's a very catch-22 situation at that time, because it's a culmination of all your thought patterns.
Right. So what I got is that most important thing is we should notice what our thoughts are.
Yes. Of how we are talking to ourselves. Most of the time, they also end up having a self-talk about what they have thought or felt about their life. So your experience will start making you what you feel and what you feel that you are in the society by the time that you are in that age. Or in other words, how you feel about your family and you, or how you feel about you and your career. And which is where many people start feeling what they feel, that kind of a meltdown, it's like something is now going away. And how they handle it makes a lot of difference.
Thank you so much, doctor. डॉक्टर आप सीनियर सिटीजन्स को क्या एडवाइस, क्या recommendations देंगे?
Well, when I say advice is something that I don't enjoy, but I would say I can only suggest, if I can say something, that I would not like to say I can advise them, because I still see them as very senior. But if I have to really, suggest to them that, these are few things if you can try out. So one is they can always observe what is their self-talk. They can also know about what are they believing. Maybe if they can make a checklist or somebody around can help them to, understand what are they thinking and feeling and believing. Secondly, they can also build in a social circle, because at that age, the society plays a lot of role. Either they can contribute something to the society can be a great support system, and how they feel with the society. So how are they connected with the society or with the family? And generally that connection is done through some interactional activity. So the third thing I would say that do take up some kind of an activity, some routine where they can start feeling something useful about them, something that they can enjoy that they have never enjoyed earlier. In other words, I would ask them if they can really take up their hobbies. It could be like gardening, it could be even taking care of children, it could be maybe singing, dancing, walking, any activity, because a physical activity is something which is the most natural, I would say, a natural liability of that age group, because they start feeling that their strength is going down, and they can start motivating themselves to take some kind of physical activity which can enhance their behavior, at the same time give them a feeling good factor. Read some books, take some recreational activities. You can also engage in certain kind of programs which can help you to bring up your skill set, either in groups or maybe individually, one-to-one, where you can either build a skill set, something new that you can learn, because every time you learn something new, you are enhancing something which is inside your brain called as neural circuitry, and that makes them feel more productive. So this is one thing that I can suggest to them, which would be of great help in building something which is much more productive, more expansive, more growth oriented, rather than getting demotivated. Say helping them by using affirmations, taking their periodical health checkup, a routine diet that they can maintain, which can nourish them, maintain hygiene, body care, because this is something that can help them in the long way to take care of their medical situation that they have been undergoing. Basically using social media to their advantage, so that they can listen and watch entertaining and lively programs. Today there's so much of negative news that is in the social media, which is kind of lowering their energy or depriving them of the joy that they can really have, and that kind of takes away their motivation to live. So they can actually go for social media networks which can be more adding value to them rather than depressing them. This is what I would want to tell them, and good luck, and keep making the most out of your life.
So, Amita, what I got, the gist was that, instead of seniors saying that something is going away, instead, how about एक नया mode आया है life में, and how do we go about it? So it's time to set a new goal for our life.
Absolutely. And the only goal I would say is to not feel demotivated, but find ways to make some more value, because what they have is what they can give, and what they give will they get.
Right.
So the more they offer to the society, and it could be any simple activity which they feel good at, would be a great contribution. It's like a drop in the ocean.
Right.
Rather than feeling I'm just a drop, they can feel that they have an ocean of experience, and they can keep adding to that.
Wow. I love that phrase, ocean of experience.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Doctor. आपकी जो insights थी, आपके जो suggestions थे, it helps us all, to go into introspection and realize that life is always and always will be a full circle. Thank you so much for your time and your suggestions. And cheers to
Cheers
wellness.
to wellness.